Ontario once again as Ottawa Fury FC take on the Harrisburg City Islanders. Tyler McDonald alongside Jenna Mosier, and we're excited for another great day. A little gusty out there. Do you think the ball's going to carry a little more? Do you expect to see more on-ground play?
Let's just hope they play a little bit more on ground, whether there's a gust of wind or not. It's a lot easier to control a ball when it's sent to you on the ground than in the air. As for the wind, you know what? These players are great at what they do. They're professionals. They'll make the slight adjustments and maybe even find a way to use it in their favor.
Now, two different trends for both these teams. Harrisburg City Islanders on a 7-game winless drought, and for Fury FC, it's a 3-game unbeaten streak. Their last result, a 1-1 draw versus Bethlehem in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We're seeing Fury start to come together a lot more offensively now. Now it's time, though, to try to cut back defensively, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I think the problem is they've got all the pieces. They can't get them working at the same time. So hopefully we're going to see more of that cohesive team effort today where the defense and the offense both have amazing games and the midfield holds the whole system down.
And it's been a kind of a story of passing when it comes to Fury in possession. They haven't done a great job in possession, nor passing accuracy, something that has to pick up in front of this home crowd.
Well, they have been playing a lot of balls in the air, and it is really hard to maintain possession and pass the ball around when you're continually chasing a ball in the air. So you know what? They just need patience. They need to put the ball on the ground and take their time, not rush it.
We're seeing a couple of interesting figures drop on the substitutes. It's Carl Howarth and Steven Dos Santos as well. What do you think they can bring if they get a hint of feel tonight?
Well, you know, Carl hasn't played for a long time, so I guarantee you the moment he steps on that pitch, he's just going to be a burst of energy. He's going to be hungry, and can you blame him?
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Ottawa Fury FC Soccer once again. Graham Ivory, AJ Jack back on the call. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Ronnie Argueta through traffic. Ronnie forward to Jones, turns, the shot, and a goal! Ronnie Argueta! Bang, bang, play the captain in extra time. Puts the first goal on the board. Ronnie Argueta, the rocket off the right foot.
They are a very possession-oriented football club. Chip ball over the top for Valesky. Valesky with the touch. Christian Valesky doubles St. Louis's delight here at Toyota Stadium. It's a 2-0 lead for St. Louis FC.
Finally got past that back line. And credit to Valesky to make sure he stayed on side. Almost as impressive as the goal itself.
Flag stays down. It looked like Williams was offside. Play on, says the ref. Williams running at them. Little step over. The shot! Oh, what a finish! What a finish from Romario Williams. Well, I tell you what, you will not see too many better goals than that, Poppy.
Nice pass there. Ken Tribbett with some space. Right back to Sekou Kone. Takes another shot on goal. It goes in! Bethlehem on the board. A Sekou Kone goal. His 6th of the season from incredibly long range this time. And Bethlehem are on top, 1-0.
Anunga back goal side again. The shot comes in. Oh! What a finish from Ombi. 4-3 the score. Unbelievable.
Louisville rushing back with the ball, desperate to get this game started, and the Battery can't quite believe it.
That was a finish to rival Romario Williams is in the first half.
AJ Jack, you back alongside Graham Ivory as we get set for this one today between Ottawa Fury FC and the Harrisburg City Islanders. And let's get right to the starters for both sides. And the starting 11 for Ottawa brought to you by Gabriel's Pizza, Ottawa's Bigger, Better Pizza, 310-7777 as we look at Ottawa Fury. Callum Irving, the Canadian, has played every minute in goal this season, a 3-4-3 with Onwo Bassi, Kyle Venter, and Shane McElhenney. Your back three in midfield. You've got the Jamaican international Andre Campbell with the captain Lance Roseboom, Gerardo Bruna, and Jamar Dixon in midfield, and then Cito and Ryan Williams with Eddie Edward in between them. This will be 5 different positions for Eddie Edward this season. the local product, and for Eddie Edward, well, he is their jack of all trades in 2017.
He's my man of the match already, AJ, for the simple fact that he's starting in that center forward position this evening. Looking forward to see what he can do. And if you look at what Ottawa has now with those players in that forward role, so much pace that they can attack Harrisburg with this evening. And that's when Ottawa looks at their best.
For Harrisburg, they go with a 4-3-3. It'll be Sean Lewis, the American. Back four of Ghanaian Abbas Mohammed, Lena Shonian, Tiago Calvano, who we remember well from his days with Minnesota United, and Sean McLaws, the right back. In midfield, you've got the Senegal under-17 international, Mohamed Dabo, Danny DePrima, and Brazilian Pedro Ribeiro. And up front, it's James Thomas, Aaron Wheeler, and Jake Bond, an All-American. Strike force for Harrisburg as Ottawa gets an early free kick here, second minute, 0-0. All red kits moving right to left in this first half. Harrisburg in their all white kits moving left to right as Ryan Williams looks over this free kick. Gerardo Bruto in there as well, but it's on the left, so better for the right-footed Williams, who delivers, and it is headed outside the Ottawa penalty area, or the Harrisburg penalty area. Flicked on towards Eddie Edward, and flag is up for offside, so Harrisburg in control.
Should also note a couple of names that will be happy if we see them come into action later in this match, and that's two forwards who have missed some significant time for Ottawa Fury FC. Steven DeSantos, who's been out with an ankle injury since that second leg of the Canadian Championship and that 3-2 win at FC Edmonton. He is back on the bench tonight, and a man who has yet to dress for the club. Will that change this evening? Number 9, the man who led the team in scoring last year, the longest serving member of Ottawa Fury FC, Carl Howarth, returns from a severe ankle injury sustained during training camp, so he was certainly excited to be able to get back into the lineup this evening.
Yeah, it's terrific news for Ottawa with a player the caliber of Carl Howarth, represented Canada internationally at the senior level against South Korea, and as you mentioned, their top scorer a year ago, really found his form under Paul Dalglish. He was a good player under Mark DeSantos, but I think the system really seemed to fit Carl Howarth, and had a terrific season last year in his third campaign. This now is fourth. The only player who's been here since day one in 2014. Time now to get to our keys to victory.
Key number 1, AJ, gain control early. Harrisburg is struggling lately. They've yet to win in their last 7 contests in USL play, and establishing control of the match early will only benefit Ottawa's chances of striking first. Key number 2, attacking with pace. Ottawa always looks at their best when they attack with pace. Having Eddie Edward up top, they will only have more pace in their attacking force.
Ooh, opportunity here for Harrisburg inside the Ottawa penalty area, but forced to retreat as they work this wide right. McLaws looks to get the cross in, takes a bounce, and now it is sent out off a Harrisburg player last. This will be an Ottawa goal kick. 5th minute, 0-0 as you get to key number 3.
Yeah, the third key, AJ, win that second ball. With the high line of pressure that Fury FC use on opposing defenders, they need to win those second challenges, especially in and around the opposing penalty area.
Should remind you that Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Off the goal kick, it's flicked on here by Anwo Bassi, and this will go out for a Harrisburg throw. As they work it wide right, Calvano. All sorts of experience. Love to have a look at his passport as it's sent forward here for Thomas, and it deflects off of Kyle Venter. First corner of the match goes to Harrisburg. 5 minutes in, 0-0, but the Brazilian played at Botafogo in his home country, Barcelona B. Young boys in Switzerland, Duisburg and Dusseldorf in Germany. Newcastle, but not the great Newcastle, only the good Newcastle, as it's worked. Ooh, a shot from 8 yards out, and that's flashed over the bar. Great opportunity there for Nashanian, and he just wasn't able to keep it down and hit the target. Goal kick, Ottawa.
Yeah, too easy for Nashanian to have that type of time to get a poke at the ball like that, sending that one over the goal. Markey needs to be a little bit tighter in that penalty area.
Back to Tiago Calvano. He played for Newcastle Jets in Australia. Like I said, still a good Newcastle.
Just not your favorite Newcastle.
Well, that's debatable between the beer and the Magpies. Sydney FC, and then to Minnesota United. So all over the globe when you talk about Australia, Brazil, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, the United States. Good for him.
I wonder how many languages he speaks.
Was Aussie considered a different language? Because
well, no, but he's been in Germany.
Knowing my pal Maka, he speaks a bit of a different language.
It's definitely a different dialect, if you will.
7th minute, 0-0. Fury worked this forward on a long goal kick, and the ball from Edward, a little behind Cito, and this will come back into the Ottawa half. Headed towards Obasi, and it'll be Harrisburg in possession here. Pedro Ribeiro, another Brazilian who's played in Philadelphia and Orlando, as Ottawa push forward with the counter. Cito, and the flag just up. Yeah, we could see it right from our angle perfectly. Just a hair offside, Eddie Edward. 8th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, just half a stride. Jumped too early. But again, you can already see that game plan from Ottawa, attacking with pace. They've scored so many of their goals, the run of play with that pace down one of the flanks. And while they may not have a target man, and well, Tucker Hume's been serving that role the last number of games.
Worked in on the throw, and it comes to the keeper, Callum Irving. Should mention the officials today. The referee is Marie-Soleil Baudouin. Her assistants, Sean Hornsby, Philippe Betez-Kwesi, and Caroline Chenard. How'd you like that French?
That immersion coming out again,
Not
AJ.
bad for an Alberta boy. 9th minute, 0-0 is Harrisburg in possession. Pushing it back, Nashanian. Looking to hit Wheeler inside the Ottawa half, but Fury gained possession. It comes back to Callum Irving. Now Kyle Venter. On ball, trying to pick out Eddie Edward. Flag is down, but it is cleared away as Bruno gains possession and plays it to Obasi, and now it's sent back to the keeper, Irving.
Well, with Carl Howarth and Steven DeSantos returning to health, Schroeder Bruna making his second straight start for Paul Dalglish's side. It's almost like 3 new signings coming to the team when you consider that Bruna has missed a significant amount of time this year. Carl Howarth yet to play in a match, and Steven DeSantos hasn't played since mid-May.
Flicked on here by Eddie Edward, trying to pick out Andre Campbell, but it goes back to the opposite keeper, Sean Lewis. Harrisburg will play this up from the back. It is a noticeable difference in style we've seen from Ottawa Fury FC the last few games, as they have certainly played a more direct Route 1 type of football. And we'll see if that continues when they bring on the likes of Howarth and DeSantos, whether it's today or certainly in subsequent fixtures. There's Aaron Wheeler now, just outside the Ottawa 18-yard box with the cross, and good work by Obasi to come in and block that shot from Thomas. Harrisburg in possession, 25 yards out. It's worked wide right for McLaws. Sent in on a little back heel by Ribeiro. Comes to Muhammad. Cuts inside. And his ball met by Lance Roseboom as Fury looked to counter here, and they've got some space. It's Cito with Edward in front of him. Cito, 2 white shirts in his face, so couldn't get it forward, and now Campbell clearly fouled on the play by Jake Bond, and that'll be a free kick for Ottawa just inside the Harrisburg half, 11th minute 0-0.
Yeah, 50-50 challenge that should have been, but Bond went to ground early looking to get to the ball, and instead he got all of Andre Campbell. It was a good break there for Ottawa, but Cito didn't have enough options going forward and had to slow Ottawa's attack down and look for support in Andre Campbell.
Here's Obasi as Ottawa takes the free kick quickly and short. Moves it wide left, Campbell, 20 yards out. Campbell with the cross, whips it in towards Edward. Unable to turn and get a shot away as Ottawa regroups. Center circle, it's Roseboom. Wide right, Jamar Dixon. Quick little 1-2 with Roseboom. Now Ryan Williams whips in a low cross, comes back to Jamar Dixon just outside the 18-yard box. Dixon links up with Roseboom, and Ottawa wins the throw. Beautiful evening in Canada's capital. The sun is shining. And a perfect night. 24 degrees and a little bit cloudy. As Roseboom looks to attack here on the right. Sent out wide for Dixon. Now to Eddie Edward inside the penalty area. His cross deflects out for an Ottawa corner. Their first of the match here in the 13th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, some good movement there by Ottawa, and I think Eddie Edward was trying to cut that ball back to Ryan Williams, who had found some space in the penalty area. He also had 2 options across the face of goal.
So, first corner of the match comes from the far corner flag. Williams and Bruna look it over. And probably better option for the left-footed Bruna, and it is. Here's the in-swinger, and it is cleared away. As Fury pushed this back to Andre Campbell. Moves this into the air for Edward, but it's back in possession of Harrisburg. Well, the City Islanders taking a little bit of scorn this week for their name. I don't have an issue with the name. I've been to Harrisburg, beautiful city, went to the Civil War Museum, went to nearby Hershey, saw a Hershey Bears game, went to the Hershey factory, lots of great things in the area. You got some good shopping at Lancaster. Didn't go to Gettysburg, but anyways, lots in the area. The one thing I will say, because City Islanders, certainly there's an island in the middle of downtown Harrisburg. And so it does make sense from that standpoint. The one thing I did not see in Harrisburg, I didn't see any palm trees. And it is part of the logo. I could be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong if there are multiple palm trees in beautiful downtown Harrisburg, but it's just something I did not come across in my recent travels.
How many states have you hit?
All 50.
All 50. See, you are such a well-traveled man south of the border. I'll take your word for it.
Love the Harrisburg Hershey area. I would certainly recommend it. As this is a goal kick now for Harrisburg in the 15th minute, 0-0. Should remind you that Ottawa's premier soccer show, it's Corner Kicks. It's on TSN 1200. And you can tune in for all the latest on the beautiful game from the capital to around the world. That's Corner Kicks every Monday at 6 p.m. on TSN 1200. talk about how worthy Qatar is as a host. Maybe the most worthy host in the history of the competition, the World Cup.
Back indoors this week, AJ.
Yes. If only they could say the same thing about the matches in Qatar when it's 125 degrees Fahrenheit. 16th minute, 0-0. As Fury pushed this ahead on the right for Jamar Dixon. Short of the halfway line. Roseboom. His ball deflects, and back come Harrisburg. The ball from Dabo, and that's a little too far. And will go out for an Ottawa throw.
Well, I was saying in the keys to the game, AJ, about a need for Ottawa to gain control of this match early is because they're going against the Harrisburg side. Well, while they came off a midweek win in the U.S. Open Cup, ousting Reading United, that will see them advance to the fourth round to take on the Philadelphia Union of Major League Soccer. When it comes to USL action, they're mired in a 7-match winless streak. 0 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, been outscored 10-4 over the course of those 7 games and have been shut out in 4 of their last 6 matches. So certainly another good opportunity for Ottawa to extend their unbeaten streak this evening and gain ground in the USL standings. But Harrisburg has also been pretty tight defensively, albeit just 1 win and a draw in 6 matches away from home this year.
Ottawa needs 3 points today.
Well, we talked about it a few weeks ago, and you know, wins are important with the Canadian Championship out of the way, but more importantly, wins at home are a must, and they definitely stole a point last weekend in Bethlehem against the Steel. But when you've got, you know, health coming back into your lineup now, you've had opportunity to rest, you've had opportunity to get a full week's worth of training in. Definitely 3 points are all as a must now going forward, especially for matches here at TD Place.
Yeah, as Ottawa wins a free kick, Andre Campbell fouled near touchline, so this will be about well, they're going to call this the other way. Campbell's going to be called for the foul, even though he was the one who was down. So free kick Harrisburg in the 19th minute, 0-0. They had 2 stretches in a row where they played 5 matches in 15 days. So very difficult stretches. You're rotating your squad. You're focused on the Canadian Championship, which was a terrific run for Ottawa. But now it's all about USL play, and I'd say that's not disrespect towards Harrisburg. If Tampa Bay was here, I might say a point is okay. Any other team in the league, including Charleston, I would say 3 points a must here today for Ottawa Fury FC. They have the squad to do it, and they need to start moving up the table.
Well, it's one of the things that you got to like about the USL this season, AJ, is that even though you see Tampa Bay and Charleston kind of sitting 1-2 at the top of the Eastern Conference standings, you know, some of the games that they've lost to opposition that you thought, oh yeah, they're going to get 3 points out of this one, and they've come away with defeat. Harrisburg played Charleston to a 2-2 draw, similar to what Ottawa did to them in Charleston earlier in the season. So really enjoying the parity we've seen so far, and really outside of San Antonio, who just seem to be the front runners coming out of the West right now, we've certainly seen upsets, if you want to call it that, so far inside the opening, well, depending on which team you are, 8 to 14 games this season.
And you talked about it. I think they've played well enough on the road, and it's difficult. I mean, sometimes you bust, and you bust to Bethlehem, for example, last week after a midweek game against Toronto, and that's not an easy situation. Sometimes you fly, and with some of the carriers out there, most notably my favorite, you're going to have delays. You're going to have issues. You had one situation where they got into Charleston in the wee hours of the morning, and they were fortunate to even get there the day before the game. So it is very difficult to travel, but they have not fared as well as they should have at home. As the good ball forward to Ryan Williams, 25 yards out on the right. Williams is knocked down, and this will be a free kick right of center, 25 yards out for Ottawa as we played 20 minutes and we're still scoreless.
Yeah, it was a good first ball for Ryan Williams, and it just kind of checked up funny for him on the turf there, and then just really an unnecessary foul from Muhammad there with Williams running away from goal. And now sets up a set piece for Fury FC here. Ryan Williams and it's Gerardo Bruna. Sorry, make that Bruna and Williams standing over this free kick.
So the left-footed Bruna and the right-footed Williams. This is right of center, 25 yards out for Ottawa Fury. A free kick here in the 21st minute. And it is Ryan Williams delivering on the cross, looking for Obasi. But the flag is up anyways, and it's headed away. So Harrisburg able to weather the storm on that set piece.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, right idea by Ryan Williams there, looking for Obasi, and he's marked very closely. And when 6'4" attacker goes up against anyone of smaller size, you see a man go to turf. Usually the call is going to go against the big guy.
As Fury move forward again, it's Onwo Obasi. Good ball towards Cito, and here's Cito, and the flag is up. That was close.
Yeah, that was tight, and Eddie Edward was definitely offside, so he just stopped up his run and let Cito carry through. I think he was about a yard offside on the play. Eddie Edward was far more advanced. You can see they're certainly favoring that run down the left channel.
One last thought about the past, because it's time to look forward here after everything we've seen all season, but you don't really feel like they left any points on the table on the road. There might have been a game here or there where they could have got something more, but it's those two at home against Pittsburgh and TFC2 where they lost 1-0 and drew 0-0 against TFC2. Those are the two that sting a little bit, but you know what? If you take care of business, especially at home against the teams that you need to, then you can forget about that in a hurry.
Yeah, I think the only match where you felt that you were probably robbed of a definite point, you could argue the first two of the season, losing the second game 1-0 in Tampa Bay when they really dominated that entire second half but just couldn't finish, was a season opener in St. Louis. And to battle back from going down 2-0 early and then conceding right on 90 or just a minute before, that was a tough one to swallow, because they certainly battled back valiantly in that match, and I think certainly deserved the point there. But you're right, AJ, they've taken care of business away from home, but at TD Place is where they need to grab points. And we're going to see an early substitution here as Aaron Wheeler set to come off in place of Mike Ola.
And Ola replacing Wheeler, who limps off a little bit, so that's a sub that I think Harrisburg didn't want to burn so quickly, but forced upon them here in the 24th minute. The other subs today for Harrisburg, mentioned the Ottawa subs earlier: Nick Noble, Chris Hill, Travis Brent, Paul Wilson, Johnny Mendoza, and Frederick Opoka. As Harrisburg will start their build-up from the back. Nishanian plays this high into the air, looking to pick out Ola. And Callum Irving will send this center circle for Ottawa. McElhaney, head for Cito. Comes back to Kyle Venter, and he mishits this, and it'll go out for a Harrisburg throw. Claus comes back towards Dabo, but read well here by Bruna, and he'll start the counter for Ottawa. Bruna for Edward, and it was going to be offside, so Edward laid off, and Bruna just kept going forward, and it goes off him and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, unfortunate run there, and you could just see a bit of Eddie Edward not sure where to be, especially in that central role. He's yet to play that this year, as you mentioned. 5 different positions for the Ottawa native so far, but kind of got caught in that offside position after what looked to be a good ball from Gerardo Bruna, but turned out to be a pass to himself and an unfortunate touch out for a goal kick. Looking forward to seeing what Bruna can do once he gets a bit more into that rhythm, playing some consecutive games, and certainly a goal would vault his confidence forward. You look at the pedigree of Gerardo Bruna, and he's still just 26 years of age, and certainly so much there. You think if a player like Bruna can remain healthy, could be seen as one of the top midfielders in the league.
Ball for Ola here, and it's headed back towards goal by Shane McElhinney, grabbed by Callum Irving, and he'll roll it along this TD Place turf, which gets a lot more work for the grounds crew. They did a great job removing the football lines, or as the English like to call them, the gridiron lines.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good when you think that Red Blacks played here on Thursday night, and 48 hours later, nicely manicured pitch.
Here's Obasi for Ottawa.
Oh, what a touch.
Venter, middle of the park for Roseboom. Pressured and gives up possession. Countering the ball from Thomas. Now comes forward to Ola. And
that was a handball miss there
flag
for
is
sure.
Up anyways, so the assistant referee caught that. Free kick, Ottawa.
Bill Betcher, the Harrisburg City Islanders coach, is the only coach known to this organization. An all-time record of 126, 107, and 77. We've seen that a lot in the USL. Several teams with coaches who have been player turned assistant coach turned head coach.
Here's Williams now 25 yards out. Ball now to Cito. Cito left-footed shot, and he rips that.
That's a goal. That's a goal.
But we don't have the goal line technology, and no one saw it. I mean, oh my goodness.
That was an absolute rocket, and well, didn't see anything from the assistant on the far sideline to signal that it was a goal, but from our vantage point, AJ, that one was clearly in.
Well, Williams got this across to Cito.
Oh, that's in. 100% that's in.
Well, that's a real blow here for Ottawa Fury FC. And not much you can do about that now, unfortunately. I mean, that's just one of those ones that either the referee or the assistant should have picked that up, and they blew it. And no goal line technology like you've got with FIFA in USL. Unfortunate. So they play on here. Ball for Williams. He gets it across towards Edward, but didn't get to him in the 6-yard box as the keeper, Sean Lewis, scoops it up. 30th minute, 0-0. It should be 1-0 Fury.
Yeah, I needed to cut that back a little bit higher for Eddie Edward. It was well read by Sean Lewis, who we've seen in action in the North American Soccer League with the Jacksonville Armada.
Fury win a free kick as Dixon is fouled just inside the Ottawa half. Well, it's important for Ottawa just to keep their cool here and go out, find another goal.
Yeah, no. Look, there's nothing that can be done. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, there isn't that goal line technology offered in this match where they have the opportunity for review. Although that will be in effect for a game this season, and that will come on June 20th in the school day game. Two weeks too late.
I was going to say.
But what a shot, my goodness. Like, outside of the left boot from Cito, and he's got 5 goals in his last 7 matches in all competition. And, well, hopefully he won't let that change the effort we've seen from him tonight.
And now they call Bassi for a foul.
No way. Oh, my goodness. I have no idea how that's a yellow card with some of the challenge we've seen, especially with the one previously on Jamar Dixon. No, good grief. The replay makes it look even worse. He gets the ball. You can't fault the guy for being 6'4" and having long legs.
Start to worry that maybe this is over their heads. You miss. Everyone makes mistakes. You miss a goal call like that. Stuff happens. People miss things. People make mistakes. But you start to make calls like that afterwards, and you start to worry that maybe they're out of their depth here. Obasi. Ball forward trying to pick out Ryan Williams. Sent out for an Ottawa throw. 33rd minute, 0-0. On the throw, Campbell with a cross. Decent ball into the air and forcing the keeper, Sean Lewis, to come just outside his 6-yard box and go high into the air to collect it with his arms.
Yeah, those deliveries for who you have playing in the positions right now, they have to be driven in and not kind of lobbed into the box. You don't have that height with Tucker Hume not in the lineup tonight and Steven DeSantos on the bench.
Fury in possession here as it's played back to Kyle Venter from Shane McElhaney. Now McElhaney, the Irish Youth International, trying to play this wide right for Dixon. Didn't get there. Comes back to McElhaney. Now Roseboom, and Ottawa wins a free kick just inside the Harrisburg half, and we've got a yellow card going the other way. Lena Shanian in the book. So Callum Irving steps up. Just short of the halfway line, right of center, and Ottawa pushing bodies forward. As Irving plays this into the 18-yard box, looking to pick out Obasi. It is cleared away. And now Harrisburg will counter. Mohammed. Out of Dabo. Mohammed. Inside the Ottawa half, they retreat and comes back to Nashanian. Dabo for Calvano. Wide right, McLaws. Sends this forward, it's headed away. Like maybe a high boot there by Calvano. Referee lets them play, and Harrisburg pushes forward. Ball didn't get to Thomas, and Dixon will gain possession for Ottawa. Trying to pick out Williams. It's in behind him. Roseboom McElhaney, now to Cito, just inside the Harrisburg half. Cito, the ball towards Campbell, headed away by McLaws. Cito trying to win possession back. Bruna gets a touch, now to Anu Obasi. 40 yards out. Obasi, so poised on the ball. Cross for Roseboom, and he'll lose possession. Back comes Bond now. Tripped up, free kick. Harrisburg just inside the Ottawa half, 36th minute, 0-0.
Well, Jake Bond, the man who scored 2 goals in their midweek win over Reading United to help send them through to the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup, spent 2016 with St. Louis FC.
Harrisburg push forward as ball comes to DePrima. Now wide right. Good ball from Jake Bond, and that forces Dixon to head behind for a Harrisburg corner here in the 37th minute.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication there, and you can see Callum Irving and Shane McElhaney having a conversation after as to why there was that breakdown, as Irving first went to go for it, and then McElhaney let it go, forcing Dixon to head it away from any harm at the back post, and now a second corner of the game for Harrisburg.
Far corner flag, right-footed in-swinger from Danny DePrima. He delivers. And McElhaney gets ahead to it. Sends it outside the 18-yard box. Now McElhaney goes down and wins a free kick for Ottawa. .38th minute, 0-0, and for Ottawa Fury, just trying to brush off the fact that it should be 1-0 Ottawa Fury, but referee and her assistant not able to see Cito's goal. Going down in the penalty area was Eddie Edward, and this will be an Ottawa throw now.
Yeah, definitely a push on the arm as both men were up in the air. I think you'd be hard pressed to see that one called a penalty, mind you.
Fury in possession just inside the Harrisburg half. Venter for Roseboom. Wide left, Obasi. Back inside the Ottawa half for Kyle Venter. His ball deflects and comes back to Calvano. He'll play it to the keeper, Lewis. Launches it high into the air, center circle. Venter won the header. Bruna sends it forward. Cito looking for the foul, not getting one, and it's played forward by the Harrisburg keeper, Sean Lewis. Lots of space for Sean McLaws inside the Ottawa half. Good ball forward. Flag is up, though, for offside as Thomas got in behind the defense a little too early.
Yeah, it was a good run. You can see on the replay there, just gets a little bit of extra pace and gets in behind Shane McElhaney, but about a yard in the offside position was Thomas. Gotta watch those guys with 2 first names. James Thomas, Sean Lewis. You never know, right? No? Nothing? I don't know. 2 first names, man. It's just weird.
Who else has 2 first names?
Just people in general, man. Like Aaron John. Yeah.
John's my middle name.
Well, yes, but it's part of the name. It's part of the lore of one Aaron John Jakubek.
There's no reasonable comparison to.
I don't know. People with like that use their middle name, that's scary.
You're talking
like John Wilkes Booth. Right. Yeah.
I just know AJ
It's not like-
Foyt's
it's not
maybe
like
the greatest
Jake-
race car driver of all time.
Like Jake Bond, right? He's Mr. Bond. Like that's pretty epic right there.
Long lost cousin of James, or
Sure, let's go with that.
41st minute, 0-0. Ottawa with a free kick inside their own half. Irving launches this forward into the Harrisburg half, but they'll win possession, and here comes Thomas. As Ola in front of him stops. And they'll build up through midfield. Here's Calvano. Wide right, McLaws. Now Bond working against Campbell, and Campbell sends this out of touch for a Harrisburg throw. Oh, good little back heel towards McLaws as he gets to the byline, but as he plays it across, it goes off side netting, outside version, and it will be a goal kick for Ottawa. 42nd minute, 0-0.
Yeah, nifty play there, but McLaws needed to be able to get to that ball right away and get a first poke at it before he was closed down. Unable to do so. Well, you could say that inside the opening 10 minutes, you saw, I don't want to say any real chances from Harrisburg, but a couple of, balls that weren't dealt with properly that were poked over the bar. But seeing Ottawa with the better pressure, but here's a good chance.
Thomas plays this across, and no one there for Harrisburg, but certainly great pace from James Thomas, troubling the Ottawa back line. It's going down as Cito wins a free kick for Ottawa Fury. Reminder to stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts every Monday at 9 p.m. That's, of course, 2 hours after the end of Corner Kicks on TSN 1200. But it is Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC. That's channel 85. And also don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. I tune into Sirius XM FC channel 85 every once in a while when I switch it away from Liquid Metal, Sirius XM channel 40.
Yeah, that's right up your alley, isn't it?
They're better lately. They got rid of some of the death metal and just going into the regular Metallica, Motley Crue, System of a Down, the stuff that I like.
What about the new channel 18? Beatles channel.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah. I think channel 20 is Elvis. You like that stuff? No? Too far back? Channel 5's the 50s.
I don't mind
There's
a little
some
bit of
great
Elvis.
music on channel 5, let me tell you.
Chuck Berry. .44th minute, 0-0. Obasi heads this free kick forward. It comes to Cito towards the byline on the left side. Works it back to his right foot, now Obasi. Good defending there from Bond, and Ottawa's going to be called for the foul. Obasi, free kick, Harrisburg.
Yeah, it was tough there. Both feet in, and unfortunately, even though the lead foot was able to get the ball, his back foot, his right foot catches Ribeiro, and he goes to turf.
Flicked on as here's Thomas just outside the penalty area. Good work by Dixon. And Ottawa looks to counter quickly. Ryan Williams head on the right for Eddie Edward, and got tied up a little bit and couldn't continue his run, and it goes out for a Harrisburg throw. We're going to see probably a minute of stoppage time here. And it is a minute of stoppage time, even though, oh, now it's up on the old board. Ottawa throw here. Dixon looks to play this into the penalty area towards Eddie Edward, headed away. Now Venter. McElhaney, long ball forward. Here's Ryan Williams. Bruna. Wide right, Williams doesn't get to him. Now Dixon. Towards Eddie Edward, and this is sent out for a corner. So Ottawa's going to have one last opportunity here in first half stoppage time. As they bring over Ryan Williams and Gerardo Bruna. And five players inside the penalty area. Now the referee has a word with Eddie Edward and Sean McLaws. And here is likely the last opportunity of the first half. Bruna with a free kick, headed down by Venter and cleared out as the halftime whistle goes. 0-0 the halftime score, and for Ottawa, probably feeling a little bit aggrieved. Cito put it past the goal line, but the referee and her assistant did not see it, and so it remains 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah, you know, I think Paul Dalglish has to be happy with his side's performance. He's certainly going to be frustrated with some of the plays there, especially that missed goal call in the 28th minute. We'll hear what Coach Paul Dalglish has to say.
Let's hear from him now.
45. It looked like Cito might have got one there. Your thoughts of this first half?
Yeah, I think first 10 minutes, I thought Harrisburg came out the blocks quite well. I thought they were good. You know, they caused a few problems, but once we kind of worked it out, stopped them playing, then I thought we were the dominant side for 35 minutes. I thought we were the aggressor. You know, we won a lot of second balls. We were getting balls in the box. You know, we've scored a goal that wasn't given. So yeah, we've just got to make sure we've got the win behind the second half. It's quite strong out there. We've got to make sure we come out for the second half with the same energy. And if we keep grinding away like that, we'll hopefully get one in the second half.
You guys concluded a pretty busy stretch last weekend. Just talk to us a little bit about the depth of this squad this year.
Yeah, this is a fantastic squad. We've only got a small squad, but we've got really high quality within the squad. So we've got a mentality in the squad. If one's down, the next one's up, and everybody that's played this season has been fantastic.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
There you have it. Paul Dalglish in conversation with Sanisha Sindic. All right, coming up at halftime, Jenna Mosier will be joined by Tyler McDonald. We'll have the halftime stats, and coming up next, we'll also have our player profile, and today it's Canadian international Callum Irving. 0-0 at halftime, Ottawa Fury FC against the Harrisburg City Islanders. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
I mean, my dad played goalkeeper when he grew up, and then he played in college and for like the collegiate national team, and so I guess kind of in my blood a little bit. You have to be a little bit crazy to be a goalkeeper, and I think he kind of passed that craziness down to me a little bit. And I always just was kind of a crazy kid, like jumping around and diving around, and so I thought, why not have a purpose to it rather than just getting my clothes all muddy for no reason. At this point, you know, you fully are aware of the situation you put yourself into, and you have to embrace it, otherwise you won't succeed in the position. I'm aware of the pressures that there are, and you know, the importance of a goalkeeper in a team, but I embrace the pressure, and I'm fully responsible for when I do well and when I do poorly. You know, if I make mistakes, it's on me, and if I do well, it's nice to enjoy that as well. So you got to take both sides, and I just never try and get too high or too low with either of them. I mean, sometimes it's easier than others, you know, but it's one of those things. You've been in the situation, you know, a bunch of times in training and games, and once you start playing, it's one of those where you're in the moment and you just do whatever is in the moment. And a lot of goalkeeping is just you work on a lot of stuff in training, and then once you get into a game, you don't want to think about it, because the more you overthink, the worse your decision making is going to be. So you just really try and clear your head when you're in games or in game situations where that kind of stuff can happen, and then when it comes along, you trust what you've been doing in training and hope that it hits you even if it is in the face, because I think every goalkeeper would say they'd rather a shot in the face than a shot in the back of the net, so we'll take it. Growing up in Vancouver, I loved every second of it, and obviously I had great experiences down in college in the US and in my past year down in Texas, but to be able to be a Canadian player playing on a Canadian team was something it was kind of almost foreign to me at this point, but was something I was looking forward to doing at some point in my career, and the fact that it came now and the opportunity came now with the Fury was super exciting and something I couldn't pass up.
Welcome to the Ottawa Fury FC halftime show as we take a look at what's trending in the land of Ottawa Fury FC. Jenna Mosier alongside me, Tyler McDonald. It was great to hear from Callum Irving there. Unfortunately for him, left off the Gold Cup roster for Team Canada. But let's focus for the past couple weeks, and what an exciting past few weeks it's been to be a fan of Ottawa Fury FC. Playing against one of the best teams in the MLS, and you gave them their money's worth for sure. Just your thoughts, Jen, on how the Fury played in those two legs versus Toronto FC and what they can kind of prove going forward confidence-wise for themselves.
You know, one of the best things about playing a team that is so much above you, I guess you could say, is that you really have nothing to lose. They have everything to lose, so you go onto that field and you kind of let down your guard a little bit, you loosen up, and you just give it everything you got as a team, and I think that's what we saw. I wish we could see more of that energy that they brought to the game then today, but you know, they did great, and you know, they got to be proud of themselves.
And that's what Coach Dalglish mentioned himself. And Coach Dalglish did talk to the media after that second leg game. And he had a few comments on what he thought his team did well in those two games against Toronto FC.
We're more proud of our guys. You know, this is a top team. You know, it was a big ask. And I think we earned the respect of Toronto in the first game by the strength of the team that they put out. I didn't think they expected the level of game that we gave them in the first game. You know, and we came out and we gave everything. This was like a university lesson for us as an organisation, playing against arguably the best team in MLS. So we're going to learn from it, work harder. So if we get the opportunity again, then we can come a little bit closer.
You can hear those thoughts from Dalglish. You know, the thoughts on how their team is learning, going back to university, like he said, a school lesson for Fury. And the U.S. teams will have this as well with the U.S. Open Cup if they make it that far to play an MLS team as well. But just to be facing a caliber like that and then coming back here to the USL, do you bring that sort of knowledge and learning experience from playing that higher up?
Oh, of course, you're going to bring that knowledge, but you are going to play every game as if you're playing the #1 team. So you know what? They should be treating Harrisburg just the same way that they'll treat Toronto FC, just the same way that they're going to treat the Montreal Impact for that friendly game.
And Coach Dalglish has had a great record when it comes to playing MLS teams in his tenure with Ottawa Fury FC. 2-2, 2 wins, 2 losses, and that goes back to last year when they played the Vancouver Whitecaps in the Leg 1, Leg 2 of the same Canadian Championships. Fury once again get a win at home, but fall out on the road. You can kind of have the feeling that hopefully one day this will turn into a Fury win at home and a Fury win on the road, or at least a draw, and that way they can somehow sneak into that final, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? It just really helps when they do play an MLS team because it's great for soccer in Canada in general, but the crowd's extra live. There's a bit more of a, you know, competition between the two cities that are playing. So I think with all that combined excitement, that's why you see that top-notch Fury squad on the pitch.
Well, everyone loves a good Cinderella story. Next year we'll have League One Ontario and Quebec come into the Canadian Championship, and maybe even some more Cinderella stories next year. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, second half action here from TD Place. 0-0 after the first half. You're watching Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Alongside Graham Ivory, 0-0 at halftime between Ottawa Fury FC and the Harrisburg City Islanders. This, for our TV viewers, we'll have a look at the first half highlights that are brought to you by Labatt's. And for Ottawa, it is most notable. It's a pretty good opportunity there for Harrisburg that was fired over the bar, but we're going to see the Cito chance here shortly for Ottawa that looked like it went past the goal line and should have been the opening goal for Ottawa Fury FC, but it does not count. And that's the big story of the first half for Ottawa, as it is 0-0.
Yeah, and that's a tough one to have to go through when you've worked so hard, and Cito's been the guy who's been scoring the goals for Ottawa lately, 5 goals in his last 7 matches in all competition. But you have to get beyond it. They need to get back into that mindset that we saw inside really the first half hour for Ottawa. We heard in the halftime interview with Coach Paul Dalglish that he felt the first 10 minutes that Harrisburg were the better side. They had a couple chances that they poked over the bar. But from there on in, Ottawa certainly looked the better side, attacking with pace, putting balls into the right channels. And we've seen Cito run onto a couple, Ryan Williams, Eddie Edward. All those chances are coming. They need to make sure they get back to that, come out in the second half, kind of clear frame of mind. You had a good first half, put that non-goal behind you, and continue what you were doing right, because they've certainly looked the better side over the course of 45 minutes.
Let's have a look at their halftime stats. They're brought to you by Ricoh, making information work for Ottawa Fury FC, and much better from a possession standpoint for Ottawa Fury compared to last week in the first half, when it was 73% possession for Bethlehem and 27% for Ottawa. They had 48% possession in the first half. But some other interesting stats. Neither team with a shot on target, although Ottawa should have been given 1. Shots off target, 3 apiece. And total passes, 208 to 192 Harrisburg, as we are underway here in the second half. Fury moving left to right with their all red kits, and Harrisburg moving right to left in their all white kits. For Harrisburg, Lewis the keeper, a back four of Mohamed, Nishanian, Calvano and McLaws. In midfield, it's Dabo, DePrima and Ribeiro, Thomas, Ola and Bond, the strikers. Mike Ola coming on, replacing Aaron Wheeler, who limped off in the first half. We'll get the Ottawa 11 in a moment. For those who are just joining us, the ball flicked on, and Callum Irving forced to make a save at the outside of that 6-yard box. Good opportunity there for Harrisburg. It looked like Jake Bond who got the last touch on it. It is Bond with the shot, and sent out for a corner by Irving with a save.
Well, Andre Campbell comes in to support Kyle Venter, and he gets caught sucked in, and that left space out wide for Bond. Great save from Callum Irving to get the hands up.
So it's a corner, an outswinger headed towards goal, and that goes out for a goal kick. So not the start that Ottawa would have wanted to start this second half, as Calvano missed that header. For Ottawa Fury, if you're just joining us, 3-4-3 for them. Irving in goal, Bassi, Venter, and McElhaney the back three. Campbell, Roseboom, Bruna, and Dixon in midfield. Cito, Edward, and Williams up top. Noble, Hill, Brent, Wilson, Mendoza. Opoku still available on the bench for Harrisburg. Of course, they've used one of their 3 subs. For Ottawa, it's Palme, Maher Jaguar, Minicio, Makangilwa, Chamarsano, Dos Santos, and Carl Howarth. And we'll see if we see Ottawa's Player of the Year in 2016 in the North American Soccer League make his season debut, coming off that ankle injury. As Andre Campbell will watch this go out for an Ottawa throw in the 48th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, a bit too heavy of a touch there. Down the right-hand side was going to be tough for Jake Bond to get on the end of that one. Interesting fact about Aaron Wheeler, who was subbed off in the 24th minute.
And you know I love interesting facts.
Yes, you do. 2010, played for FC Tampa Bay. His head coach at the time was?
Paul Dalglish.
There you go. Signed by the Vancouver Whitecaps when they were in their USL days back in 2009. Never got into the first team. Then he moved to FC Tampa Bay, then on to the Fort Lauderdale Strikers before spending 2 seasons with the Philadelphia Union in Major League Soccer, and went to Wilmington 2015 before joining Harrisburg last season.
Ninth minute, 0-0. And Fury's going to win a free kick here as Ryan Williams is fouled dead center. And this is, well, close to 35 to 40 yards out. Little left to center. So opportunity here for Ryan Williams. Bruna's looking over it as well. But it will be the right-footed Williams who puts this towards goal and forces a save out of Sean Lewis. Good effort from distance by Ryan Williams.
That was well struck by Ryan Williams. Gets it up and over the wall, and it's dipping down towards the back post. Well tracked by Sean Lewis.
Here's Cito, able to win possession for Ottawa. Works it back inside the penalty area. Cito holds it up. Now back outside for Campbell. Inside the 18-yard box, looks to get the cross in, comes back to him. Now on the right foot, and just couldn't hit Gerardo Bruna, and there was a collision.
Oh, they got to blow this play dead. You got 2 players down in the box from
maybe a clash of heads here.
Bruna and Abbas Muhammad.
So both will receive treatment here in the 51st minute. Ottawa with another week before their next match as they get set to travel to Rochester. It'll be a 6:05 start from Capelli Sports Stadium. Certainly an opportunity for maybe some of the supporters to travel. Rochester just a little over 4 hours away, unless you've got a real heavy foot.
Why'd you look at me?
I'm just wondering. I mean, for me, it's a little over 4 hours away.
It's because I got us back to Toronto in record time.
And then I want to ask you about this because Orlando City B is coming here on Tuesday, June 20th. You touched on this a little bit earlier because it'll be the game where they will see the technology on the sidelines. I believe 2 games a year that each team is going to get, but it is also the school day game. We've seen that numerous times with another Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group property, the Ottawa 67s. It's been wildly successful for the 67s. What are we expecting in terms of a crowd on that Tuesday, June 20th against Orlando City B?
Yeah, not sure what numbers are like right now, but I know lots of interest and participation from the local school boards, and 11 o'clock the kickoff against Orlando City B in the final week of the school year, so I'm sure there will be some very energized young students in attendance for that one.
And then the defending league champions from USL, New York Red Bulls 2, visiting 2 weeks today, but that'll be an afternoon contest as well. So we've got an evening contest today, a morning contest in 10 days, and then an afternoon contest at 2 o'clock 14 days from now. New York Red Bulls 2 visiting before Ottawa hits the road again for Louisville on Canada Day.
And the day prior to their Game against the defending USL champs. It'll be the Ottawa Red Blacks CFL home opener and a rematch of the Grey Cup against the Calgary Stampeders on the Friday night.
Fury won a throw here in the 54th minute. As it's worked toward Eddie Edward. Back to Ryan Williams near touchline. To Edward inside the box. Edward working towards the byline. 2 players on him. So back to Williams. Good cross. Comes to Bruna. Now Obasi outside the area. Campbell. Roseboom. Obasi. Oh, nice turn by Anu Obasi. And just too many white shirts in the vicinity. And Ottawa forced to regroup here again. It's Campbell. Far touchline. And this will go out for an Ottawa throw. 54th minute. 0-0. Flicked on here as it comes inside the 6-yard box. Eddie Edward got a touch. It comes to Roseboom. Now Jamar Dixon beats one man. Dixon with a shot. Save. Rebound. And it's 1-0 Ottawa Fury FC. And there is the deserved goal from Cito in the 55th minute. One taken away in the first half. But he makes no mistake there. 1-0 Fury.
Yeah, that is great work there by Ottawa Fury FC and a great run by Jamar Dixon. And a great effort to get the shot away and the rebound right to the feet of Cito, who, as you say, AJ, denied that opening goal in the first half. Makes no mistake burying the rebound to put Ottawa in front here in the 55th minute. Call it karma, call it hard work. It's 1-0 Fury FC.
I guess I should specify, they didn't necessarily take it away, they just didn't see it go in. 2 different things altogether, but nonetheless, he gets the goal that he deserved all along, and you can forget about the first one. I'm not one that believes, as Ottawa's got to make sure they defend. Always a very dangerous spot. Maybe the most dangerous spot is when you just score a goal, and Fury will send this out of touch for a Harrisburg throw, but I've never been one to believe in hockey or soccer that you get a goal taken away and then you score one again that, well, you should be up 2-0. Well, no, now you are up 1-0, and now the score line is what it was supposed to be, and now it's game on.
Well, we talked about it when we were looking at the keys to the game, about winning those second balls in that effort, and Paul Dalglish touched on that in his halftime interview about the number of, second balls that they've won, and you could see it there, everything leading up to that goal, just the work ethic to chase down that ball, to win the ball back, even when it was given away. Comes to Lance Roseboom in the midfield. Jamar Dixon makes that run down the right side. Great first touch effort on goal. And then Cito with the finish like he's done oh so well this season for Ottawa Fury FC. 6 goals in his last 8 matches, and that's his 4th goal in USL action this season.
Yeah, he's been in terrific form for Ottawa. So goal kick here for Harrisburg, and they're going to have to open up a little bit more to try and earn something on the road this evening. As they push forward, it's Thomas. He's been dangerous. Oh, great tackle by Jamar Dixon. Headed towards Roseboom by Obasi, and there's some space for Ryan Williams as he works it inside the Harrisburg half. Now he plays it into space. Bruna, good run, trying to run onto this ball. And now he's going to be called for the foul as going down as Nishanian. Free kick for Harrisburg inside their own half in the 58th minute. It's 1-0 Fury.
Not the first time that Nishanian has played in Canada. Spent some time playing in the PDL with a team that's been, very good for quite some time in the PDL, and that's the Thunder Bay Chill.
Very fitting name.
Yes, isn't it though?
Although I'm guessing when he was there it wasn't too chilly.
No, but you can imagine. Geez, we were talking about bus trips earlier, right? Trip down to Bethlehem last weekend, you're 8-9 hours on the bus. Can you imagine what it's like, Thunder Bay, you're traveling to take on like the Des Moines Menace?
Well, I was going to say, unless Wawa or Marathon are in the league, then pretty much anyone that you put in their league would be a long distance away. As here comes a good run by Ribeiro of Harrisburg. Now to Ola outside the penalty area. Puts it into the air, and that'll easily be taken care of by Callum Irving in the 59th minute.
Appreciate the effort, but a bit too cute there. Ola either go for goal or try and seam one through.
I've heard Marathon's in the running for a CPL team. That would be...
You're being funny now.
I didn't think it was funny.
Your geography knowledge astounds me, honestly.
I don't think Marathon will be hosting a CPL team. Ball forward into the penalty area. A little back heel here from Thomas, and Ottawa's forced to send this behind for a corner in the 60th minute. And Harrisburg, you're seeing them push a little bit more after giving up the opening goal. Right-footed outswinger on the corner. And this will bounce outside the 18-yard box. Here's Jake Bond, though. 20 yards out, near touchline. Not a dabble with the cross. Decent ball, and it's cleared away by Campbell. Comes back to McLaws. To Prima now. Andre Campbell back, and he sends this out for another Harrisburg corner. We've now played an hour at TD Place. Cito with the goal. 55th minute. Ottawa Fury FC 1, Harrisburg City Islanders 0, but Harrisburg coming on after giving up the opening goal. Delivery on a right-footed outswinger. And it comes down inside the 6-yard box. A couple of bounces and picked up by Callum Irving.
Well, Harrisburg City Islanders head coach Bill Betcher has to be pleased with his team's response after going down 1-0. We've seen them earn a couple of corners. They've pressed very well. They just haven't been able to find that opportunity on goal.
Cito making a run. McLaws has handled this, and he'll play it into space. Obasi gains possession for Ottawa. Wins a throw. You have to think we're going to see Carl Howarth at some point. Are we not?
I'm confident that we'll see both DeSantos and Howarth come into this game. These are two players that are going to be crucial to this team's success offensively. And you know that you want to get the minutes in a game. Well, that's a tough challenge there.
Ottawa's won a corner as Campbell went down. And McLaws, he did get the ball, to be fair. Went through Campbell to get the ball.
Well, and you can remember the yellow card that Obasi gets earlier in this game, and you're kind of setting a tone there, right? If that's what warrants a yellow card, well there's been a few missed ever since.
I will say this, that was just a bad call. I don't ask the referee to keep making bad calls to make up for one earlier. Corner is dealt with, and here comes Ola on the counterattack, but Roseboom and Obasi able to deal with him, and it's sent out for a Harrisburg throw. Some work to do, but a win could push Ottawa as high as 5th in the table from 11th.
Speaking of that table, AJ, having a look at the Scores from across the USL. Charleston Battery home to the Richmond Kickers. They currently lead 1-0 through 61 minutes. Cincinnati and Charlotte are level at 1 apiece through 60 minutes. They're in first half stoppage time in Tampa Bay. The Rowdies and Rochester Rhinos knotted at 1 apiece. Halftime in Toronto, 0-0 between TFC2 and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Later tonight, kicking off not very long from now, it's the Oklahoma City Energy taking on, well, the most impressive side in USL this season, San Antonio FC. That one's set at 8:30. Rio Grande Valley FC Toros taking on Sounders 2, also at 8:30 at 9. Real Monarchs home to Portland Timbers 2. 10:30 Phoenix Rising home to Whitecaps 2, as is LA Galaxy home to the Colorado Switchbacks, and Reno hosting Sacramento Republic.
Attacking here on the left, the ball coming in from Muhammad. Now it's played high into the air, and Irving's got this in the 65th minute for Ottawa. A nil scoreline until the 55th minute of this one, when Cito banged home a rebound after a great save from Sean Lewis off of Jamar Dixon. Harrisburg back in possession inside their own half. Played forward. Oh, neat little work there from Danny DePrima as he plays this wide right. McLaws comes out wide, and Campbell there to defend and gets this forward to Williams. Oh, that's Bruna fouled, no doubt about that, right in front of the referee. Free kick, Ottawa Fury FC, and we're going to see Steven DeSantos come on shortly for Ottawa. And he's going to replace Gerardo Bruna, so this will be the first substitution for Ottawa Fury FC, and nice to see Steven DeSantos back after a short spell on the sidelines due to injury.
Yeah, haven't seen DeSantos in action since the 10th of May in that 3-2 win over FC Edmonton in the second leg of the Canadian Championship preliminary round. He was a great force in that game for Ottawa, scored a pair of goals there. Of course, scored the match winner back on April the 15th in Ottawa's first ever win in USL over the Richmond Kickers, that volley from midfield. So great to have DeSantos back in the lineup for Ottawa.
Two-year member of the Rochester Rhinos and a Cape Verde native. Can't say I've been to Cape Verde.
No? On the bucket list, though?
They all are.
What do you think? Just like spin the globe someday, put your finger down, and that's where you'll go?
Well,
would you ever do that?
No, because if it lands on North Korea, I'm probably never coming back. I mean, I could do some work alongside my pal Kim Jong-un, but one way or the other, I'm not coming back. I'm either...
What would you do? What would you do if you were in North Korea?
I'm either going to advise...
You'd have no internet or phone or like nothing.
Oh, I'd
you could
find
have
a
fun.
way.
Oh, yeah. You know what? He totally would find a way. If there's one man that could change the world with his determination and stubbornness,
just got to adapt. That's what it's all about.
You do not adapt. You just make it happen the way you want it to.
Free kick here and a right-footed shot that just misses the target on the far side. Good effort there in the 68th minute, as the free kick came in from McLaws, and Ola knocked it down and played that right-footed shot just past the near post. And Ottawa fortunate that it's still 1-0, as we're going to see Johnny Mendoza come on for Jake Bond. This will be substitution number 2 for Harrisburg.
Well, Mendoza, the Columbian has 1 goal this season for Harrisburg.
Fury with a throw here, far touchline, 69th minute, leading 1-0. Campbell. Flicked on towards goal by Cito, but in possession now, it's the visiting Harrisburg City Islanders. Dabble. Nishanian. Halfway line, Ribeiro. It's played wide right by Calvano for McLaws. Now to Ola. Trying to get this to the far touchline, but Campbell in the way. Campbell's brought down. Free kick awarded to Andre Campbell and Ottawa Fury FC in the 70th minute.
Really like the game tonight from Andre Campbell. 6th straight start, and he's been so solid for Ottawa, whether it's in that left back role, more advanced in the midfield for Fury FC this season, depending on the formation that they're playing at the time. But really like the game and the work ethic we've seen from him tonight. And that one guy, he's got an engine, you know, just gets up and down the field.
I've already thought of a job for myself when I go
boy.
to Pyongyang in North Korea. Remember when North Korea made the last World Cup, or the previous World Cup in South Africa?
No, you're not the manager.
In 2010?
No. I will I will boycott that.
No. We're not talking about that. Okay, do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Remember how they hired a bunch of Chinese people to come and cheer for North Korea? That's going to be my job. I'm going to go and hire a bunch of actors to come and cheer for North Korea when they make the next World Cup. So there you go.
Okay.
I've already found myself a
job.
job.
I thought you were going down the managerial route because of your newfound success in Football Manager.
No, that's too dangerous. All it takes is one bad defeat and you're never coming home. I like a job with a little less pressure, at least over there. I mean, it's pretty tough to screw up hiring a bunch of people and saying, hey, here's some North Korean flags. Make sure you cheer for us.
Clearly, we got to talk to our producer, Mike Sutherland, to make this job a little bit tougher on you if you think it's that easy on you.
71st minute, 1-0 Fury.
Must shave rule, yeah. Necktie, a must-have, even in our 37-degree heat that we're going to experience in July and August.
This is the first game all season I haven't worn a tie. You've got no jacket and I've got no tie.
Yeah, but I've got the vest, dude. Come on. It was also approved by the producer. I sent him my attire before the game.
All right.
Take a selfie, show him the hairstyle in the morning.
Harrisburg pushing forward, far touchline. Here's Ola now. And he's won a corner for Harrisburg in the 72nd minute. So Ottawa still with work to do here to preserve this 1-0 advantage. 2 subs at their disposal if they so choose.
6th corner of the night for Harrisburg, 4th of this second half, all coming from that far side.
Danny DePrima, the right-footed outswinger, and it is headed away by Obasi. But it comes to Dabo, plays this wide right. DePrima trying to swing this in. Near the far corner flag, lays it off. It goes high into the air towards McLaws. He couldn't bring it down, and it is deflected out for an Ottawa throw as Andre Campbell wins that for Ottawa Fury.
Well, after kind of a run there, AJ, of scoring games where we saw that 4-3 come from behind win over Red Bulls 2, and then the 5-3 win at home against Richmond, and you had the 2-1 win over Toronto FC, the 4-0 loss in Toronto in the final match of the Canadian Championship semifinals. I'm sure Paul Dalglish is happy to see the defensive side of Ottawa's game, get back to what we saw inside that opening, 6-7 games of the season. 1-1 last week in Bethlehem. Never really offered any opportunity to Bethlehem. Great save by Callum Irving on a penalty kick, and then a goal from about 30 yards out was about the best opportunity on the night for Bethlehem last weekend.
Ooh, hard challenge and late challenge coming in, and that's going to draw a yellow card here. Abbas Mohammed set to be booked. And now a little extracurricular activity going on right in front of the Harrisburg bench.
Well, I'm not sure what they wanted the call to be. I think maybe they wanted a foul on Jamar Dixon earlier, but the bench was irate immediately. And it was definitely a hard challenge from Abbas Mohammed on Eddie Edward. The stud stayed down, fortunately, which is why we only see the yellow.
Campbell in possession for Ottawa Fury. Inside the Harrisburg half, he's fouled. Free kick for a touchline for Ottawa, about 40 yards out. Should remind you that you can follow all the latest news of the top talent and all the rising stars in USL by visiting either uslsoccer.com or follow them on Twitter at USL. Free kick launched high right to the edge of the 6 and grabbed by the keeper Sean Lewis. Steven DeSantos was in there lurking. Nice to have that size up front once again with Steven DeSantos.
Well, it's been a beautiful night for soccer, AJ, at TD Place, an attendance of 4,770.
Obasi wins it for Roseboom, who plays it out for a Harrisburg throw.
Looks like the third and final substitute set to come on for Harrisburg, and it'll be the Jamaican Paul Wilson. Also has a goal this season for Harrisburg, who have 9 goals coming into this match. Aaron Wheeler was the leading scorer with 2. Of course, he subbed off in the 24th minute for Mike Ola.
And he's going to replace Danny DePrima. Ottawa again with two subs at their disposal as well.
And a yellow card just shown there to Sean McLaws.
So here is the third and final sub as Paul Wilson replaces Danny DePrima. And Wilson, as you mentioned, a Jamaican, represented them at the youth level, including under 23. Free kick for Ottawa. Launched towards the edge of the area, towards DeSantos. Now on the left side, Obasi comes free to Cito, and the shot on the volley misses high, and it will be a goal kick for Harrisburg. 78th minute, 1-0. Ottawa Fury FC leads on that Cito goal in the 55th minute as they look to climb the table.
It looks like the next sub for Ottawa is going to be Jimmy Shamar Sano, who scored in the last home game here in that dramatic 5-3 win over Richmond.
Obasi able to win possession for Ottawa, and they've got some space going forward. Williams now to DeSantos with room. DeSantos puts it onto his left foot. DeSantos takes the shot. It's stopped. He's looking for handball and not getting the call.
Well, it was great work by Sean Lewis to come down and really cut off the angle. And as DeSantos was closed down, puts his foot on it, tries to cut back onto his left. Didn't have much of an option by that point.
I'd have to see a replay. I didn't see a handball from my vantage point, but nonetheless, play on as Harrisburg work it back to the center circle. Nashanian. Cross for Calvano inside the Harrisburg half. Dabo trying to play this wide right and gets a fortunate bounce as it comes to Ola. Venter able to take it away from him as Andre Campbell is fouled and Fury win a free kick inside their own half.
Well, there was definitely a handball, but you're not going to get a penalty called against Nashanian for that as the ball bounces off the foot of Sean Lewis and inadvertently hits the arm. And that's tough. Would it have given another opportunity for DeSantos on the rebound? Perhaps. I don't know, but
so this will be it for Cito today. The goal scorer for Ottawa Fury FC in the 55th minute. He drilled one that should have been a goal in the first half, was missed by the referee and her assistant, but made up for it and got the goal in the 55th minute. Comes off to a nice applause here at TD Place, and Jimmy Shamar Senol, the Haitian Canadian, will come on.
Well, a great game from Cito again, and he's the guy who's got the hot boot right now for Ottawa. 6 goals in his last 8 matches in all contests, and really have to like the work ethic from him. Thought he got one in the first half, didn't get credit for it, and finds one in the second half, and really like the game that Cito's bringing. And well, now you're going to see those attacking players have to work extra harder now that you have Steven DeSantos and Carl Hauer back healthy. Even Gerardo Bruna, for that matter, another offensively minded, offensively gifted player. It's certainly going to force the competitive nature at training and in matches to go up a notch for Ottawa as they all try and win a spot in the starting 11.
Harrisburg attacking here and forcing a clearance. Comes from Shane McElhaney. Campbell sends this back into the Harrisburg half. There you see a little bit of the pace there from Shamar Sanol as Roseboom tried to spring the attack, but it comes out for an Ottawa throw in the 82nd minute. Ottawa Fury FC 1, Harrisburg City Islanders 0.
Well, tactically, you have to like the move there by Paul Dalglish to bring on Jimmy Shamar Sanol with the pace that he has, and you've seen Harrisburg try and throw that extra player forward. They need to do that. They want to find that equalizer, and Sanol has been able to, well, try and keep them honest anyways, and I'm not sure that we're going to see Carl Howarth in the end tonight as we see Sergio Minicio make his way over to the Ottawa bench to get kitted out.
Well, at least we saw him with the possibility of coming on, but maybe better to wait another week coming off that ankle injury. It is an Ottawa corner here in the 83rd minute, won by Jimmy Shamar Sanol. Right-footed outswinger from Williams, headed towards goal. It's a save, and it's a double save. This one goes out for another corner. Obasi with the second shot. And oh, what a chance from Kyle Venter on the header to put Ottawa up by 2.
Well, that was a great delivery there from Ryan Williams. And Venter gets absolutely robbed by the quick feed of Sean Lewis. And then Obasi stopped on the rebound, parried out for another corner.
Right-footed outswinger from Williams and doesn't get past the first defender, but they're going to do it again as it's cleared out for another Ottawa corner.
Great save.
So another right-footed outswinger coming from Ryan Williams. Ottawa with 4 players inside the Harrisburg penalty area. This is headed away. And good work by Jamar Dixon to thwart that Harrisburg counter effort. So one last substitution for Ottawa, and as you mentioned, it will be Sergio Minicio as he will come on for Ottawa Fury FC. 4th official putting it on her board right now.
I imagine you'll likely...
It's going to be Eddie Edward coming off for Sergio Minicio. So a tactical substitution. Sure that if Ottawa was needing a goal right now, you might see Carl Howarth, but going for a little more steel in midfield, and another midfielder for a striker. Good run here by Paul Wilson into the penalty area, but couldn't get the cross in. Now he's working against Jamar Dixon. He pushes Dixon down, and this will be a free kick for Ottawa Fury. 85th minute. Fury leading 1-0, and here is that third and final substitution. So both teams have used their 3. Sergio Minicio to replace Eddie Edward. 5th position this year, center forward today for Eddie Edward. He's been terrific throughout this season, and his versatility. It's always when you're Chelsea and you've got 30-man squad or whatever, maybe versatility isn't as important, but when you're at this level, you need players that are versatile, that can move into different spots when you rotate the squad, when you've got injuries, and Eddie Edward has certainly been able to do that as it comes to Sano. Left-footed shot, and he forces another save out of Sean Lewis, who's been great in that goal for Harrisburg, as Sean Lewis has been really the biggest reason that it's not more than 1-0 at this stage.
Yeah, well, definitely in the last 10 minutes, he's come up with a couple of clutch saves. Think of that half breakaway there by Steven DeSantos, stopped, and then the header from Kyle Venter, that was stopped, and now another one on Jimmy Shamar Sano.
Fury in possession here, 87th minute, as they work it just inside their own half. Campbell for Obasi. Now Callum Irving, center circle. DeSantos running at it. Comes back to Lewis. The Harrisburg keeper. Played near touchline. Here's Vas Mohammed. And quick little 1-2 doesn't come off as it goes out of touch for an Ottawa throw. Harrisburg attacking now from right to left. 3 minutes plus stoppage time for them to get an equalizer here. Ball into the air, Venter heads it away. And now Ottawa will look to counter as Williams finds Sano, and here's that great pace from Jimmy Shamar Sano to the byline on the right side, gets the cross in towards Williams. Oh, the volley, and it's stopped by Lewis. Another great save from Sean Lewis as Ryan Williams got all of that with his right boot on the volley.
What a ball by Jimmy Shamar Sano. A great run just to break free of about 4 white shirts. And a perfect delivery, put it on a platter for Ryan Williams, who's robbed. Again, my goodness, what a performance from Sean Lewis in the last 10-15 minutes now in the Harrisburg goal.
Well, it would be cruel if Ottawa didn't get 3 points, because they have been the better side, especially in the second half. But they've got some work to do. I'm hearing 4 minutes of stoppage time, a minimum of 4 minutes, and we're still in the 89th minute, so Ottawa not home and clear yet. All it takes is one opportunity for a smash and grab. DeSantos fouled for Ottawa. Free kick inside the Harrisburg half, 35 yards out for touchline.
Well, we talked about some of the things that Ottawa can take away from their run in the Canadian Championship, and one thing that's a mark of a team that can win games is that they know how to close games out, and especially the tight ones. We saw them close that 2-1 win out here at TD Place against Toronto FC. And we'll see how they can fare in the next 4 minutes plus.
Here's Obasi taking the ball from DeSantos. Wide left, Ryan Williams takes it to the corner flag. Obasi, middle of the park, Roseboom, back heel, center circle. McElhaney for Dixon. Good work to keep it alive. Harrisburg briefly, but Ottawa's able to get it back through Roseboom, and now Obasi. That was Mendoza, who was able to gain control before that briefly. The good work, but there's the confirmation from the fourth official. Minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time here at TD Place. Can they close this out and earn 3 points and move up the table? Again, before everything's home and clear tonight, a win would put them up to 5th. Hoping for a Tampa Bay win over Rochester. And that match next week, especially if Ottawa wins, certainly a big one in Rochester. A team, again, don't get me started on scheduling. 5 games difference between Tampa Bay and Rochester tonight. I get 2 or 3 at this stage, but not 5. But nonetheless, that's...
Well, if everything holds out, Ottawa will move into 6th spot with how the results are running right now. Still 1-1 between Tampa and Rochester. Charleston 1-0 ahead of Richmond. They are in the 89th minute there. Also in the 89th minute, FC Cincinnati and Charlotte deadlocked at 1 apiece.
Did Rochester go on vacation for a month that we missed? I mean, how have they only played 8 games? Like, we're almost in July.
Yeah, but keep in mind that this is now a team that either in the heat of summer or when you're getting ready to go into that run, heading into the playoff run, they're going to have a big cluster of games. And when you think of the American teams having to play in U.S. Open Cup matches as well, might look okay for them now, but certainly not going to do them any favors later in the year when they have to make up those games that they've yet to play.
Couple of minutes of stoppage time in the books. Free kick, Harrisburg. They work it to the byline, and Andre Campbell's going to win a free kick for Ottawa Fury. Strong game for him this evening. Strong game for everybody. It's been a terrific team effort for Ottawa Fury FC. Just need to close it out.
Calvano has come up injured on that earlier challenge there with DeSantos. So Harrisburg's going to have to try and fight their way back with just 10 men, as they've used all 3 of their substitutes. So,
well, they've got a minute to do so, and maybe a little bit more depending on the referee's watch. But here they push forward on a long ball, trying to pick out Pedro Ribeiro. Doesn't come off. They'll start again. Again, trying to pick out Ribeiro. And Irving off his line, able to grab it for Ottawa, as we've got another 30 seconds plus stoppage time for a full 3 points for Ottawa Fury.
Well, that was a great read there by Callum Irving, right on the edge of his box. It's all about maintaining possession now to close this one out.
Williams far touchline. Obasi for Williams. Goes out. And this will be a Harrisburg throw. And there is the final whistle here at TD Place. Cito denied a goal in the first half when the ball crossed the line, but it wasn't spotted by the referee or her assistants. But he was not denied a goal in the 55th minute. Jamar Dixon with the shot. Sean Lewis, who was outstanding as the Harrisburg keeper, made the original stop, but Cito got the goal he deserved, and Ottawa Fury the 3 points they deserved. They the better side tonight in a 1-0 win over Harrisburg.
Yeah, definitely the better side, and in that second half, you really like how they, after the first kind of 5, 6, 7 minutes, you saw Harrisburg really push there, and then Ottawa started to take over. They get the goal from Cito. Harrisburg responds very well to try and come back, and then really it was Lewis in Harrisburg's goal that denied Ottawa, 3-4 goals in that final 15 minutes with some tremendous saves, but Ottawa definitely full value for all 3 points tonight.
Our man of the match this evening is Cito, and so Cito, 2 goals really tonight. He gets credit for 1, but continues his scoring ways for Ottawa.
Yeah, you gotta love the effort, and really how nice of a goal was the first one that ultimately wasn't credited to him in that first half. What a finish that was, but to have that composure in front of goal, good save by Lewis, parried right out to Cito, and he was able to bury that one right down the middle. Deserved the goal. 6 goals in his last 8 matches for Ottawa, 5 in USL action. You really have to like where his game's going right now, and with all the other forwards, as we mentioned, returning to full health, there's going to be a lot of competition for playing time in Paul Dalglish's squad.
Next broadcast comes to you on Saturday night. It'll be a 6:05 start in Rochester as Ottawa Fury FC takes on the Rochester Rhinos, and that'll have big implications on the upper end of the table after these 3 points today for Fury. And then it's the school day game on June 20th as Ottawa Fury FC welcomes Orlando City B. On behalf of our entire crew, Graham Ivory, Jenna Mosier, Tyler McDonald, Mike Sutherland, our producer, and our entire crew from TD Place, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This has been Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This copywritten telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.